With me here, you'll not take a single step further. Die, Imperial lapdogs!
Traitor! Me!
Into the blossoms!
Piranha! Me!
Into the blossoms!
Killing spree! Try to hurt me! Piranha! Try to hurt me! Piranha!
I never expected defeat at the hands of Imperial lapdogs. So, you're the Dragon Slayer they're all crowing about. Isn't that right? But... don't rejoice too soon, Imperial underlings. The Chief is... different from before. He'll kill you all. Every single one. When the time comes, none shall escape.
Dragon Slayer, you did it! Our troops were already dominating, so once Shagrol was vanquished, the enemy's remaining forces simply collapsed. This makes the Bloodfang base camp an easy mark. We'll reconvene at Korra's Coup later on, Dragon Slayer.
Shortly after, the remaining Orc soldiers were entirely routed, the Imperial army scoring a resounding victory. Magment's path has once again regained its usual bleak serenity.
Ah, you're here, Dragon Slayer.
Our hero. Everyone's abuzz with tales of your gallantry.
Quite so. We've won the battle, but the war yet teeters on a knife's edge. In a word, we may occupy Korra's Coup now, but it is no place for long-term settlement. The Orcs' main army is still assembled at Wolf Keep and the Sunset Outpost. We must advance quickly to halt them. But our forces need time to regroup, and these Orcs we've captured need to be safely incarcerated, lest they leak our plan of attack. Meanwhile, to the best of our knowledge, a chunk of dragon remains is buried in Sinner's Swamp on the Old Highlands. Exactly. You're the only one who can finish it. Before we launch an assault on Grishnar, we have to ensure he doesn't absorb any more dragon remains. Exactly. But according to the soldiers' reports, there seems to be a strange magic nexus obstructing the entrance to Sinner Swamp, and no one can get in.
We captured an orc wizard called Dench. He's Grishnar's confidant, and apparently rather well versed in black magic. Sinner Swamp isn't far off from the orcs' territory, and it's likely that they're eyeing the dragon remains there as well. Thus, I think he might know something about how to get inside Sinner Swamp. Sinner Swamp isn't far off from the orcs' territory.
Precisely. At this very moment, Chief Eric is at the Korazku altar, attempting an interrogation. I hope that you can assist in the interrogation, Dragon Slayer. Additionally, I think we can also take this opportunity to tease out the origin of Grishnar's power. I hope that you can assist in the We're about to confront Grishnar. Given our previous failures, we need to refine our counterattacks before we strike. Besides which, I'm concerned about the portal Chief Eric mentioned earlier. Perhaps we might learn of Grishnar's marching plans from that orc as well. Good. Once preparations are made, we march for Wolf Keep. There's one more thing, Dragon Slayer. It's about what I mentioned before. About the capture of some of the soldiers after their defeat in the battle at the Sunset Outpost. When we took Korazku, my soldiers discovered Knights of the Order of Platinum being held captive. We freed those we found, but some are still missing. And Clovis is one of them. When we took Korazku, my soldiers discovered Knights of the Order of Platinum being held captive. We freed those we found, but some are still missing. And Clovis is one of them. I have a bad feeling about this. If possible, could you please keep an eye out for Clovis's whereabouts? Wonderful. In any case, please exercise great caution.
Oh, Dragon Slayer, you're here.
Huh? Dragon Slayer? Oh, hey! It's you! We're old buddies!
You know each other.
Of course! We've got a history together! I guess if it wasn't for me, you wouldn't be in this mess too, right? I'm only following orders. Otherwise, why would I come all the way to your territory? By the way, you did me a great disservice. Oh, if it weren't for your troublemaking, I would have gotten what I needed, and Grishnar would never have thrown me into this forsaken place. By the way, you did me a... Oh, speaking of which, would you happen to know Halfling? You know the sealed dragon remains? That forbidden thing? We had to sacrifice living folks just to obtain them. And this Dragon Slayer right here can get them with just a flick of a finger. You know the sealed dragon remains? That I dare say, between you and Grishnar, maybe the real monster is you. By the way, have you never tried to use that power? Look at Grishnar. That guy's using it beautifully. Come on, stop pretending. It feels awesome to be addressed as Dragon Slayer, doesn't it? Don't you want more?
Don't waste your breath, Orc. The Dragon Slayer is not as despicable as you believe. You're more devious than I thought, saying all these without revealing a hint of the information we want. It's time to switch it up. Dragon Slayer?
I've met plenty of people who can only talk the talk. You'd better show me something real, Dragon Slayer. Stop wasting your energy. It's not that easy to get information from me. Didn't you claim to have a solution? Come try it on me, if you dare. you for real? Are you really taking me for a fool? Listen up. I'm an outsider who's able to work under Grishnar for so long because I'm not a brainless fool like the other orcs. So just give up already. Your measly benefits aren't enough for me to sell myself. You'd best come up with a more convincing theory, Dragon Slayer. Sure. I can tell that you're for real now. But first, I'm doing this not because I'm afraid of the Dragonheir Empire's tactics, but only because I'm cooperating with you for the time being. Come, ask me any questions you like. Plan? He doesn't have a plan. He wants to kill every single one of you. That's his plan. Oh, but I seem to have unintentionally tipped him off to the existence of a portal in Wolf Keep that leads directly to Dragonheir. Although the portal is deactivated, it won't be long before Grishnar revives it completely, based on the power he holds currently. When that happens, there won't be a fair fight. When Grishnar swarms towards you with his group of orcs, the Empire you're so proud of will be no more! Come on, stop pretending that you're clueless. Don't you already know by now? That's the power of dragons. 500 years ago, Violet Dragon Grumog fell onto South Adenthia. He was not a superior dragon god by any means, but the power he possessed was still enough for him to lord over all mortals. That's the power of dragons. 500 years have allowed the dragon's corpse to form concentrated crystals with the dragon god's power infused within. But obviously, this wasn't something that any mortal could simply touch. Thus, Grishnar paid a price when he absorbed this power. The black magic of living sacrifice. This was the only way that the dragon remains could be extracted from its seal for his use. That's right, but that's not all. It's one thing to break the seal, but it's another thing to be able to use it. Grishnar wasn't always this unhinged. The dragon remains changed him, eroded his mind, and seized his soul. And this is just the beginning. He touched something that is taboo to mortals, and transgressed the worldly principles. In the long run, this will surely cause an even bigger catastrophe, which none of us can escape. And this is just the beginning. He touched something that is taboo to mortals, and transgress— What? Haven't I told you enough? Dragon remains are right there, and whoever has the means can go over and take it. Simple as that! There's nothing more I can say. Leave me alone.
Obviously, Dench is still trying to hide something. But if you don't have anything on him, it's going to be hard getting him to talk.
That seems to be about it. There's probably no way to get any more information out of him regarding Grishnar. But it's enough to prepare for our next steps. I've also got a rough idea as to what methods we should employ. But we have a more pressing matter at hand.
What? I've told you all I can say. What more do you want? Oh. Ah. I see. You too come with the dragon remains there. Am I wrong? And still you say you don't want that power? Yet I find you way more aggressive than everyone else, Dragon Slayer.
Enough nonsense, Orc. Do you know the way to Sinner Swamp or not?
All right, all right. At this point, I'm not going to bother resisting anymore. Earlier, I used magic to seal the entrance to the swamp, so no one could reach it. All right, all right. I used a secret spell from Hypogene District. There's probably no one else who could undo it but me.
You're saying that if we want to go to Sinner Swamp, we have to bring you there as well?
Absolutely. Should you wish to try it yourselves, I won't stop you. But as a good reminder, before you Imperials got here, Grishnar had sent some underlings there to perform the black magic ritual for the dragon remains. As for what materials are needed for that black magic, Dragon Slayer, I think you should know very well. What do you know? Grishnar just so happens to have tons of fine material to hand. What better sacrifices could there be than Imperial Knights, eh?
This is bad. Those missing knights the princess mentioned, they may have been taken as sacrifices for black magic.
So, if you want to save those knights, I urge you to act fast! Otherwise, you'll be left with nothing but cold bodies!
Now what, Dragon Slayer? You are right. Time is of the essence. I will take this orc with me, given the circumstances. Let's rendezvous at the entrance to Sinner Swamp.
I know. I've been cooperating with you all along, so you ought to at least be a little more polite towards me. If you want my help, then shouldn't you untie me first? Yeah. I wouldn't dare to cause trouble under the famed Dragon Slayer's watch. Relax. I promise to listen to you. Come on. You can't enter without me.
This is bad. He managed to escape. My apologies. I was negligent earlier as well, but I didn't expect him to escape to Sinner Swamp without any qualms. It's full of monsters and dangers that lurk at every corner. So even the orcs usually steer clear of this place. But I didn't expect him to escape to Sinner Swamp without any qualms. I'm worried that the orc might have other plans. In that case, I'll enter Sinner Swamp with you, Dragon Slayer. We're pressed for time, so it's best we split up. I'll head in first to track down the orc's trail, while you take care of the dragon's remains and the captured knights. We're pressed for time, so it's best we split up. May we come out of this alive, Dragon Slayer. Please, take care.
Try to hurt me!
Into the blossoms!
Bullseye!
Surrender to my enchanting melodies!
You can never escape.
Into the blossoms!
Bullseye!
Surrender to my enchanting melodies!
Try to hurt me!
You can never escape.
Into the blossoms!
Bullseye!
Surrender to my enchanting melodies!
Try to hurt me!
Into the blossoms!
You can never escape.
Bullseye!
Surrender to my enchanting melodies!
Try to hurt me!
Into the blossoms!
Try to... Bullseye!
Yes.
Everything all right, Dragon Slayer? Chief Eric treating them? They should be fine. I'm just checking in with you here. Do you need any help?
Looks like you lot are making decent headway. It's me! Thanks for clearing the way, Dragon Slayer. I'd never have made it here on my own.
It's you.
Ah, if it isn't my favorite prisoner. Well, we had a lot of fun earlier, didn't we? Come on. Don't look at me like that. I'm not here for you this time. With our great Dragon Slayer clearing the way to the dragon remains, how could we not put it to good use, right?
You scoundrel. Don't even think about... What is this?
What did I do? Can't you tell? I'm doing what I was going to do, of course. You really thought I did nothing to you when we were playing, Sir Knight? I see the black magic in your body. And now, you need only be sacrificed, and the dragon remains shall be mine.
No, Dragon Slayer, hurry! You must gather the dragon remains before he finishes the spell.
Don't even think about it! You are too late!
The Forgotten Realm summons you. Soon enough.
Just a little more. Just a little more. His end is nigh. Victory shall be ours.
The Forgotten Realm is silent. You look around. There's no sign of Utir this time.
Ah, you're back, Dragon Slayer. How are things going with the dragon remains? Well, that's one less thing we have to worry about. However, it seems something's been afoot here in my absence. I'm sorry. He was like this when I got here. Someone had drained his life with black magic, and I'm guessing it was the orcs doing. Pity. I think he probably saw that the operation was failing, and just ran away. There can't always be a happy ending. This fallen knight, I'm sure he didn't regret his choice. In any case, let's go back to Korisku first. Now that the matter of the dragon remains is settled, it's time for the next step. So, I'll see you at Korisku's main camp.
Ah, you're here, Dragon Slayer. I've already heard from Chief Eric that the dragon remains have been successfully sealed away. Thank you for your contribution once again. I've already heard about it. This isn't your fault. Sometimes, certain sacrifices are unavoidable. At that time, you must have chosen what you believed to be the lesser of two evils. I believe that Clovis wouldn't resent you for it either. I know that Clovis was always prepared for this. So, to ensure his sacrifice will not be in vain, we must pull ourselves together and face the next battle ahead. As everyone here knows, our next target is Wolf Keep, where Grishnar and his main forces are currently situated. And according to the intelligence we've received, which corroborates what Chief Eric has said, Grishnar is planning to use the portal near Wolf Keep to teleport his main forces directly into Dragonheir and attack it. And according to the intelligence we've received, which corroborates what Chief Eric... This is also our top priority. To prevent the orc invasion of our capital, we must destroy the portal there at all costs. In this regard, I believe Chief Eric possesses a better understanding than we do.
Quite so. I believe it's time I share with everyone the history that's been passed down by the Ridge Halflings. As everyone knows, the conflict between the Empire and the Bloodfang dates back to a long time ago, during which many events occurred. For a long time, the orcs, that was until a few hundred years ago, when an Empire wizard, proficient in spatial magic, constructed a portal capable of teleporting large-scale troops. After that, the then king immediately ordered the teleportation of a massive army to K9 Peak to launch a surprise attack against the orcs there. That was until a few hundred years ago, when an Empire wizard, proficient in spatial magic, constructed a portal capable of teleporting large. That attack dealt a huge blow to the orcs. A huge number of orc warriors dying in the surprise raid. After that, Wolf Keep was erected, and for hundreds of years after, the orcs have been blocked in from the west of Wolf Keep, no longer able to advance east.
You're right. Most surprisingly, the portal actually belongs to the Imperial Army.
You could call this karma.
Anyway, the portal was constructed using extremely powerful spatial magic. Reactivating it requires an exceptional amount of magic, which is impossible for ordinary wizards. Anyway, the portal, but having absorbed the dragon remains, Grishnar has the power to reactivate the portal in a short amount of time. So for us, time really is of the essence. But having absorbed the dragon remains...
Thus, when we launch our surprise attack, someone among us must destroy the portal. I believe there is no other candidate more suitable than you, Dragon Slayer. I believe you can do it.
If Grishnar appears while you're destroying the portal, I will find a way to temporarily immobilize him with spells. The rest of the soldiers must be prepared to retreat at any moment. Grishnar has become very unpredictable after his evolution, so he must be extremely cautious.
If we don't stop him this time...
Your Highness?
Regardless, there's no more time to waste. It's time to strike. What say you, Dragon Slayer?
That's the spirit.
Gather the troops. Let's go. It's time, Dragon Slayer. Once we get moving, there will be no turning back. Are you ready? Excellent. Well then.
Soldiers! Charge!
A resounding blast of the bugle marks the beginning of the surprise attack of Wolf Keep by the Empire's troops.